All right, let's take a closer look at this question. We're asked, what is the capital city of Japan? Now, if you look at the options provided, D. Bangkok, C. Beijing, B. Tokyo, A. Seoul, it's important to remember that each of these cities is a major capital in Asia, but only one is the capital of Japan. That city is Tokyo. Tokyo is not only Japan's capital, but also one of the most vibrant and influential cities in the world. Recognizing the correct answer helps us understand the geographical and cultural landscape of Asia, which is a key theme in this presentation. So, the right choice here is B. Tokyo. Let's take a look at this question. It asks, which planet is known as the Red Planet? On the slide, we see 4 options listed: D. Jupiter, C. Mars, B. Venus, and A. Earth. Now, the key point here is to identify the planet that gets this nickname. The red planet is actually Mars. It's called that because of its reddish appearance, which is due to iron oxide, or rust, on its surface. Understanding this helps us appreciate how planets are often named or characterized based on their most distinctive features. In this case, Mars stands out because of its striking color, making it easily recognizable in the night sky. So, as we move through this presentation, keep in mind how planets are often described or called based on their unique traits, which can help us remember facts like this one. Let's take a look at the options here. We have the Arctic Ocean, the Pacific Ocean, the Indian Ocean, and the Atlantic Ocean. Now, the question is, which of these is the largest on Earth? When we think about the vastness of our planet's oceans, the Pacific Ocean stands out as the biggest. It covers a huge area, stretching across the Pacific Rim and touching many continents. Recognizing the largest ocean helps us understand Earth's geography better and highlights the importance of oceans in our global ecosystem. So, among these options, the Pacific Ocean is the correct answer. Let's take a closer look at this question. It asks, who wrote the play Romeo and Juliet? Now, if you recall, this is one of William Shakespeare's most famous works. Shakespeare, as many of you know, is often regarded as one of the greatest playwrights in history. The options listed here are some of the most renowned authors from different literary periods. Jane Austen, Mark Twain, William Shakespeare, and Charles Dickens each made significant contributions, but only one of them wrote this particular play. So, the correct answer is William Shakespeare. Recognizing these authors and their works helps us appreciate the rich history of literature and how these stories have shaped our understanding of human experiences. This question ties into our overall theme of exploring influential writers and their timeless contributions to culture and storytelling. So let's take a look at this list of gases. We have D. Hydrogen, C. Nitrogen, B. Oxygen, and A. Carbon dioxide. Now the question is, which of these gases do humans need to breathe in order to survive? The key point here is oxygen, which is essential for our survival. We actually breathe in oxygen from the air around us, and our bodies use it to produce energy. While nitrogen makes up most of the air we breathe, we don't actually need to breathe it in for survival. It's mostly just there as a filler. Hydrogen and carbon dioxide are also in the air, but again, we don't need to breathe in hydrogen for survival, and carbon dioxide is actually a waste product that we need to exhale. So the most important concept here is that oxygen is the critical gas for human respiration and survival. This highlights how vital our respiratory system is and connects to the overall theme of understanding the gases that make life possible. All right, let's move on to question 6 and focus on the national sport of the Philippines. We have 4 options here: D. Boxing, C. Volleyball, B. Basketball, and A. Arnis. Now, thinking about the cultural significance and history of these sports in the Philippines, which one do you think holds the title of the national sport? The correct answer is actually A. Arnis. Arnis, also known as eskrima or kali, is a traditional Filipino martial art that involves stick fighting, as well as hand-to-hand combat and weapon techniques. It's deeply rooted in our history and reflects our rich cultural heritage. While boxing, volleyball, and basketball are incredibly popular and widely played in the country today, Arnis holds a special place as a symbol of Filipino identity and martial tradition. So when we talk about the national sport, we're highlighting something that represents our history, our culture, and our unique national identity. This question helps us appreciate not just the sports themselves, but what they represent in the broader context of Filipino culture. All right, let's take a moment to look at this question. We see 4 options here labeled through D. Each option represents a different city: Rome, Cairo, Ottawa, and India. Now, the question is asking, what is the capital of Canada? It's a straightforward question, but it's important to know the key capitals around the world, especially those that are significant politically or historically. Looking at the options, we can quickly eliminate some. For instance, India is a country, not a city, so it can't be the capital of Canada. Rome is the capital of Italy, Cairo is in Egypt, and Ottawa, which is option C, is actually the capital of Canada. This slide ties into our overall theme of understanding world geography and the importance of recognizing key cities worldwide. Remember, knowing capitals is fundamental because they often serve as political, cultural, and administrative centers. So, the correct answer here is Ottawa, and it's a good reminder to familiarize ourselves with capital cities as part of our broader geographical knowledge. All right, let's take a closer look at this question. Here we have a list of cities: D. India, C. Oslo, B. Cairo, and A. Rome. The question is, what is the capital of Norway? Now, when we analyze this, it's important to focus on the countries these cities belong to. For example, India is a country, not a city, so that's a bit of a trick in the list. Oslo, on the other hand, is the capital of Norway. Cairo is the capital of Egypt, and Rome is the capital of Italy. So the correct answer here is Oslo. This kind of question helps us reinforce our understanding of world capitals and their countries, which is a key part of the overall theme of geography literacy. Remember, knowing the capitals not only helps in quizzes, but also in understanding global connections better. Let's take a look at this question. We have 4 options listed: D. India, C. Hanoi, B. Cairo, and A. Rome. The question is asking, what is the capital of Vietnam? Now, remembering our geography, Hanoi is the capital city of Vietnam. It's a major cultural and political center in the country. The other options, India, Cairo, and Rome, are capitals of different countries. India's capital is New Delhi, Cairo is the capital of Egypt, and Rome is the capital of Italy. Recognizing these key cities helps us understand how geography and political boundaries are connected. So, the correct answer here is C. Hanoi. This question ties into our overall theme of understanding world capitals and their significance in global geography. All right, let's take a look at this question. We have 4 options listed here: D. India, C. Canberra, B. Cairo, and A. Tokyo. Now, the question is asking, what is the capital of Australia? This is a great opportunity to connect our previous discussions about world capitals and their significance. Most people might think of the larger countries first, but it's important to remember that each country has a unique capital that serves as its political and cultural hub. When we look at Australia, the correct answer is Canberra, which is option C. Canberra might not be as famous as Sydney or Melbourne, but it's actually the political center of Australia, housing important government institutions. Recognizing the correct capital helps us understand the geography and political structure of different countries, which ties back to the overall theme of our presentation, exploring global diversity and key facts about nations around the world. All right, let's take a look at this slide. Here, we've got a list of cities: India, Stockholm, Cairo, and Tokyo. Now, it's interesting because the slide asks, what is the capital of Sweden? That's a key question, and it ties into understanding different countries and their capitals. Stockholm is the correct answer here, as it's the capital of Sweden. This question helps reinforce our knowledge of world geography, which is essential for grasping the global context of our overall theme. So, when we see these city names, it's a good reminder of how important it is to recognize capitals and their countries, especially in discussions about international relations, business, or cultural exchanges. And remember, connecting these cities to their countries helps us build a more comprehensive understanding of the world around us. All right, let's look at this question. We have 4 options listed: D. India, C. Islamabad, B. Cairo, and A. Tokyo. The question asks, what is the capital of Pakistan? Now, thinking about these options, it's important to identify which one actually corresponds to Pakistan. India, of course, is a neighboring country, but its capital is New Delhi, so that's not the answer here. Cairo is the capital of Egypt, which is quite far from Pakistan. Tokyo is the capital of Japan, so that's also not relevant. That leaves us with Islamabad, which is actually the capital of Pakistan. So, when considering the options, the correct answer to this question is Islamabad. This question is a good reminder of how important it is to know the capitals of different countries, especially in a world that's so interconnected. Recognizing these capitals helps us understand geography better and can also be useful in many real-world contexts. All right, let's take a look at this question. We see 4 options listed here: D. India, C. Brasilia, B. Cairo, and A. Tokyo. The question asks, what is the capital of Brazil? Now, this is a great opportunity to connect our understanding of world capitals with the importance of geographic literacy. Brasilia, highlighted here as option C, is actually the correct answer. It's interesting because many people might think of Rio de Janeiro or São Paulo as the capital, but Brasilia was intentionally built to be the capital and is the political center of Brazil today. This kind of question helps us see how capitals are more than just cities. They're symbols of national identity and government. Remembering these details can be very useful, especially when considering global connections and international relations. So, the key takeaway here is to recognize Brasilia as the capital of Brazil and understand its significance in the context of geography and world politics. All right, let's take a closer look at this slide. Here, we have a list of cities: D. India, C. Berlin, B. Cairo, and A. Tokyo. Now, the question is asking, what is the capital of Germany? This is a great way to test our knowledge of world capitals and understand the importance of geography in our global connections. Berlin is highlighted here, and that's because Berlin is actually the capital of Germany. When we see a list like this, it's important to recognize the countries associated with each city to avoid common confusions. For example, Cairo is the capital of Egypt, Tokyo is the capital of Japan, and India is a country, not a city, but its capital is New Delhi. This slide ties into our overall theme of understanding world geography, which is essential for better international awareness and communication. Remember, knowing the capitals helps us appreciate cultural differences and global relationships more deeply. So, to answer the question, the capital of Germany is Berlin. All right, let's take a look at this slide. We see 4 options listed here: D. India, C. Berlin, B. Cairo, and A. Beijing. The question is, what is the capital of China? As you can see, this is a multiple-choice question, and it's designed to test your knowledge of world capitals. Now, if we think about the most well-known capital in China, it's Beijing. Beijing is not only the political center but also a cultural and historical hub. When connecting this to our overall theme, which is understanding global geography and cultural landmarks, knowing capitals like Beijing helps us better appreciate the diversity and interconnectedness of our world. So, the correct answer here is A. Beijing. All right, let's look at this question about capitals. We have 4 options here: D. India, C. Berlin, B. Jerusalem, and A. Beijing. The question is, what is the capital of Israel? Now, as we consider these options, it's important to recognize that Jerusalem is the correct answer. Jerusalem is a city that holds significant religious and historical importance, and it is widely recognized as the capital of Israel. The other options, India, Berlin, and Beijing, are capitals of different countries. India's capital is New Delhi, Berlin is the capital of Germany, and Beijing is the capital of China. This question ties into our overall theme of understanding global geography and the importance of knowing key political centers around the world. So, keep in mind that Jerusalem is the answer here, reflecting its central role in international discussions and history. All right, let's take a look at this slide. Here, we've got 4 options listed: D. India, C. Berlin, B. Beirut, and A. Beijing. The question is, what is the capital of Lebanon? Now, as we consider these options, it's important to remember the geographic and cultural context. India, of course, is a country in South Asia, and its capital is New Delhi. Berlin is the capital of Germany, situated in Europe. Beijing, on the other hand, is the capital of China, also in Asia. The correct answer here is Beirut, which is the capital of Lebanon, a country in the Middle East. This question helps reinforce our understanding of world capitals and the importance of geographic literacy. So, the key point is to recognize the capital cities and connect them with their respective countries to build a stronger global perspective. All right, let's take a look at this question. We have 4 options listed here: D. India, C. Berlin, B. Nusantara, and A. Beijing. Now, the question is asking, what is the capital of Indonesia? This is a great opportunity to connect our previous discussions about different countries and their capitals. When we think about Indonesia, it's a vast archipelago with many islands, but the key city that serves as the political and economic center is Jakarta. Among these options, Jakarta isn't explicitly listed here, but it's important to recognize that Nusantara is a name that has been proposed for Indonesia's new capital. So, considering the options, the correct answer is B. Nusantara, because this is the name associated with Indonesia's planned new capital, moving from Jakarta to better distribute development and resources. This question highlights how countries may change or develop their capitals over time, which ties back to our broader theme of understanding global geography and political geography. It's essential to recognize these shifts as part of the dynamic nature of our world. Now let's take a look at this question about capitals. We see options labeled D, C, B, and A, which correspond to different cities. D is India, C is Berlin, B is Kathmandu, and A is Beijing. The question asks, what is the capital of Nepal? This is a great way to test our knowledge of world geography and capitals. As you can see, among these options, Kathmandu is the only city that is actually the capital of Nepal. It's important to recognize the significance of knowing capitals. It's not just about memorization, but understanding world geography and the relationships between countries and their cities. So, when you encounter questions like this, remember to think about the country first, then recall or recognize its capital. And in this case, the correct answer is Kathmandu.